What's up, YouTube? It's
Brittany, Fuchsia,
and you're watching Brown Skin Sisters. Okay, in today's video, we are going to be doing a reaction video. This reaction video is titled 3 Reasons Why You Should Not Compliment a Woman. And based on the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to assume that this is like red pill type of content, like the male bashing female type of content. I'm just going to say this off bat because I've seen a lot of these videos, and although I haven't really clicked on them because technically I already know what they're going to say, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, okay, let's just actually watch it. Let's see what it says, and let's not judge it right off the bat. So if you guys find this video amusing, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe, and if you have any reaction videos you would like us to react to, then leave a comment down below or email us. All right, let's get started.
That's right, gentlemen. We are no longer complimenting women. Not because we hate them, not because we don't like them, not because we're annoyed by them. This has nothing to do with them. We're focusing on you, okay? And I'm hopefully at the end of this video going to convince you why this is a bad idea. Number 1, you don't actually mean it. Now, I know that I'm going to get a lot of hate for this one, but let's just be really really look deep down inside. When you're giving a woman a compliment, how often do you mean it? Now, I know you believe it, but do you actually mean it?
Okay, there's a bit to unpack there, so no, I'm just gonna give it to you straight. First of all, it shouldn't matter if you mean it because it means something to that woman, or vice versa, it could mean something to that man. Like when you're complimenting somebody else, even if you're lying, when you give them that compliment, they're like, oh, they could have been having a bad day, and that one compliment could bring up their mood and just make everything else just seem a lot better, and their stress just lessen. Like, no, I totally disagree with this first point. Now,
for me, I agree to a certain extent because there are people, and even women do this sometimes. I feel like we do lie to each other when we be like, oh, that looks good on you, or this looks good on you, or you look good today. And in our mind, we like, not really. But, you know, we just feel like sometimes we have to give compliments, and it's not always necessary. Like, when you meet somebody for the first time, I think people assume that you have to say something like, oh, you look this or you look that, because we all see with our eyes, right? We all see, we all know whether or not if we like people or not. We swipe right and we swipe left on people, random people, strangers that we maybe never even talked to. So there's a part of me that's like, okay, I get it. And guys do be lying. Like, would you really, if you were dating somebody, would you really expect them to be truthful with you? So if you say, do I look fat in this? 9 times out of 10, guys are going to be like, no, you don't look fat. They're going to lie to you. They're going to say what they feel like you want to hear.
That's a necessary lie, though.
Like, sometimes,
okay.
Is it?
Okay, it is half the time it's a setup. When they're like, oh, do I look so-and-so? What do you think about this? Oh, she's pretty. Half the time it's a setup. And honestly, it should not be like that. Y'all should not be intentionally setting these men or women up. Stop it. But still, like, sometimes a lie is necessary. Sometimes I'm not saying do it 100% of the time. I'm not saying that. I'm saying about out of 100, 10% of that time you need to lie.
I'm gonna say,
just saying.
I disagree with that.
No, it is true.
I don't want a guy that's going to lie to me for the sake of my feelings.
So if you said that you asked if you look fat and something, he said yes.
I want him to be honest with me because then I can work on that. Like, I've been in relationships where they lied a lot. And I'm at a point in my life now where I don't want the bullshit. I don't want the lies.
Okay, that's
so if you feel like, I want our relationship to be open enough to where you would feel comfortable saying, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that. And obviously, I should be able to say that as well, too. So it's not a one-sided relationship. It's actually, we both believe in each other. We both believe that we are saying this out of love. We're not saying this out of spite, or we're not saying this out of, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I want to know the truth. If I'm out in public and my breath stank, I would want one of y'all to
Oh
tell
no,
me
you need
that,
to tell me. Nah,
if
don't
I
lie
have-
about that.
Right? Or if I have something on my face, I
Y'all tell
want y'all
me.
to tell me that, because there may be a time when I walk up to a guy, which for me is obviously rare. I walk up to the guy in my head, but as an example, there could possibly be a time where I will walk up to a guy, or I will want to walk up to a guy, and because even though we're sisters and we do believe
I'm
that
not
we
gonna
be
not
honest,
tell you.
we don't always be honest with each other. We don't always be like, hey, I think you need to, fix this, or I think you need to pop in a breath mint before you go and embarrass yourself.
I will give it to you lovingly, and that's all I ask you to do. I can take criticism. I can take it. Just don't be a dick about it.
I
That's
also
all I'm
think
saying.
that, because you said criticism, I also think that not a lot of women like criticism.
No.
And they especially don't like criticism from another guy. Obviously, even like, I'm gonna be fair and say they don't like it with other women.
Oh,
but I feel like
it's
lenient.
worse with other women because they just.
Is it?
Did she just say to me? Listen, okay,
I'm gonna say that it's not that difficult when you hear another woman saying to another woman.
Girl,
But if it's a
get
guy
offended.
saying it, they're gonna be more offended. I feel like.
I
Or
feel like
could
it's
be
on
wrong,
the
I
same
don't know.
scale because when a woman compliments you, you're like, oh.
But does she mean it though?
I don't give a
And
damn.
them
I'm taking the
to
compliment and
me-
accepting it.
To me, them meaning it makes all the difference.
I-
It's giving me mean girl vibes. It's giving me when.
I'll just
what's the-
insult you in my head and call it a day.
It's giving me when what's the main girl of Mean Girls?
Regina.
When Regina George was giving compliments to
Oh
girls,
my
she
gosh.
really did
She
not
was
like them.
so fake.
She was really being fake. Regina George complimented the girl with the bracelet and said, "Oh, that's so cute. Where'd you get it?" And she's like, "Oh, blah, blah, I got it from here." And then after the girl walked away, she was like, "That is the most hideous necklace or bracelet I've ever seen."
She said the
And
same
then
thing about a skirt.
She said
when
the
she
same
complimented
thing, or
them.
it was a skirt, right? And then I'm sorry, it was the skirt that she complimented, and she turned around and was like, that's the most hideous skirt I've ever seen." And then when she was right next to her friend remembered that she complimented her bracelet, and she's like, "Oh my God, this bracelet's so cute. Where'd you get it?" She then realized this bitch was lying to me. So obviously, sometimes you're not gonna always know when a person is lying to you. You always want to trust that they're not lying to you. But when it comes to like friendships, I feel like that's a bit up there. I mean, you
Like I
should
said,
trust
don't be a
their friends.
dickhead.
But a relationship or a potential relationship is something different. I'm just gonna say that. But yeah, I don't want to be lied to. I want you to be honest with me. And yes, there is a difference on how people say it is what makes a difference. And also whether or not if they, mean it or not. Sometimes you can catch whether or not if a person means it or not. That's just me. But we get started.
In a way that's truly authentic. Like you're giving her a compliment because you solely want to let her know that information without trying to make yourself look good. It is actually, in this kind of weird way, it is manipulative because you're saying it. You might believe it, like if you call a girl and say, or you talk to a girl and you say, you're really pretty, right? Oh, wow, you look really pretty tonight. You're saying that because you want her to feel good, because you want to look like a nice guy. This is the problem. And I think that a lot of women are really smart enough to really look through that and go, oh, okay, yeah, like he's giving me this compliment, but I think he's just doing it to be nice. Like you ever hear someone say like, oh, you're just being nice. That's what you're doing. You're just being nice.
And I also think that women sometimes can't take compliments as well from men because we think that it's an underlying reason why they are given the compliment. It's like, okay, you're giving me the compliment, but what else? Like, what do you want now? Because time and time again, or at least from my experience, I have dealt with people who give me compliments, but then they want something else. Whether if it's sex, whether if it's whatever else, whatever the issue may be, or why they want it. So I think that's why women are more nicer and really like, okay, yeah, I believe it when a girl says it versus when a guy says it, because I know that's what you said before we started filming, is that you believe, well, go ahead and say what it was that you said.
Oh, I said that I feel like the compliment means more from another woman than it would with a man. But that's not to say that everybody feels that way, because it's some people do, some people don't. Let's specify that. But for me, it usually meant more from a woman, because women pick up on difference in appearance quicker than men do half the time. Like, when I still think it's true that women dress up for other women at this point, because
I say
men
both.
don't be noticing. I'm sorry.
Some men do.
Yeah,
I feel like
but
some men do.
in my experience, the ones that do are creepy and perverted, and that really freaks
Just
me out.
depends. But to be fair, I get what you're saying, you know, a little bit, because when I'm out in public, I do get a lot more compliments from women. But that's because I feel like men feel like they can't really give out compliments without sounding creepy, and it also depends on like what they say,
And
you
how
know.
they say
But
it.
for me, I take compliments regardless. Like if it's from, but obviously I get more compliments from women than I do men. But if I do get compliments from men, I guess it depends on the vibe, but it's also the same with girls. I don't know. It could be many different reasons.
Some guys might think, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with being nice? Because you're not actually being nice. You're showing something that's nice. You're doing a positive action to make yourself look good. So let's cut through all the crap and really understand why you're giving her that compliment. Next is, and this is one of the most important parts of this, it's like the weakest form of showing interest, okay? It's the weakest form. A woman who is attractive, okay? Attractive woman who you are hitting on, who you are dating, whatever it may be, they know they're attractive, okay? They know they're attractive. They've been told by hundreds, if not thousands of guys that they are attractive, especially the very, very, very pretty ones. They've been told that before. So you doing that, it doesn't really make them feel that good. You can do better, right? That's like the weakest form of doing something nice or saying something nice. You could do better. I mean, I'm not saying you should be buying her things. Really, you can just leave it off the table altogether and show her genuine interest by having fun conversation with her and getting to know her and taking her out on fun dates and displaying your awesome personality, which is giving her a good time. I know it sounds a little arrogant, right? But I'm not trying to be arrogant. It's that you are an awesome guy. You are that prize. Just like same thing of dating a woman, right? It's like you enjoy hanging out with her. She is the prize in your eyes. You're the prize in her eyes. You don't need to be giving compliments. You don't need to be giving her things. It doesn't matter if it's a compliment or you're buying her flowers or gifts or doing something in some manipulative way to get something. You could do better. It's a weak form of interest. The third reason why you don't want to do it is because what you're doing is you're almost showing her that her worth is based on her looks. I bet you that you have rarely, if ever, complimented a woman on something of her efforts, okay? So again, right? It's like almost assumed when I put this title out, 3 reasons why you should not compliment a woman. It's most of the time, right? You're thinking it's looks. So that's the thing, is you're probably not complimenting her on something she's done. Maybe she did something at work that was awesome. And you say, oh, wow, that's great. Like, God, you're so good at what you do.
I'm going to disagree on that, because I've gotten more compliments on who I am as a person, personality-wise, and how I make other people feel than my looks. Like,
well, I think he's talking about, you know, people that's up there in the rankings of what beauty standards with him.
I know, but everybody says the same thing. That you're so sweet and bubbly. I love being around you. Your energy just makes me feel
in your life. But I think we
that
all,
was friends too and strangers.
To piggyback on the second point that he made, women who are naturally beautiful, women who just are beautiful, period. Yeah, they've gotten those compliments their whole life, So obviously, they're going to be used to hearing that. They're going to be used to hearing, "Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you're so pretty." And obviously, at that point, if they are like deep-seated good people, they want to think outside of their beauty, and they want people to think outside of their beauty, which I feel like will be hard. So if it's like a Chris Evans, for an example, literally a lot of women like him and look at him and see the beauty in him, and they don't really want to, or maybe they do want to know more about him, but it started with because of the way he looks. They start off with, oh, you're so hot, you're so sexy, you're so this. So to me, when you start a conversation off like that, it's very difficult for that person, Chris Evans, or any other person that is deemed, sexy or beautiful. It's going to be difficult for that person to be like, okay, do they see me for what I look like, or do they really want to get to know me? So I think when you are a really beautiful person, and there are some beautiful people, obviously, when you're a really beautiful person, the first thing that people feel like they have to say is, you're beautiful, you're cute, you're sexy, you're this, instead of being able to start a conversation off with, so what do you do? The conversation, we always know that the conversations mainly start off with...
You can start off with a joke.
Like...
it's an icebreaker.
Yeah,
If you get to have the right delivery, it works.
Yeah, it is.
I for one love puns. If you come up to me with a pun, it's.
But that's a difference.
9 times out of 10, it would work.
Other women or other people in general, I feel like some people want to be complimented, and some people don't want to be complimented because they've been complimented their whole life. They want more out of you just saying, "Oh, you're this," you know what I mean, or "You're that." It's more like, okay, so what is something deep down in your soul that makes you happy, that makes you jump for joy? What is that one part of you that you can't show the world because either it's because of judgment or because of your own, anxiety or fears or whatever it is? I think that it's more difficult. For me, I don't really consider myself to be like a high standard, beautiful person. Yes, to me, I feel like I'm pretty, but to the majority of the world, I will not be. But that's okay with me, because the first thing that I realize is that most people that come up to me are really coming up to me to actually get to know me. It's not going to be, this conversation isn't going to be like, first of all, when I do hear people say, like, as an example, when I be on Facebook and I get, messages here and there, the first thing that gives me cringe is when a person is like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful, heart eyes,
Or,
heart
"Hey,
emojis,"
beautiful.
or
Oh,
something
my
like
God.
that, because it's not because I haven't heard it. It's just because majority of the time when I do hear it, it's because they want something else. If that makes sense. Not all the time, but with my experiences, it's like, could you start a conversation off with something other than, "Oh, you're beautiful"? Like, is there any other conversation starter other than the way I look? If that makes sense. But the things that he said is pretty good. I guess I was wrong. I really did think that this is going to be like a red pillage video where he was going to, down talk women, period, and give men these boosters. But this is really good information that men need to hear, especially if you're single and you trying to mingle.
Where that is even more of a genuine compliment, because you actually mean that. I feel like you would mean that more than her getting ready for the night and saying, "Oh, she looks beautiful," or "She shows up and looks beautiful," because that's like default, right? So let's just say this.
Also, it's obviously okay to compliment a person. Like, it's not like the worst thing. Like, you shouldn't just be like,
because
"Oh,
if you don't, I'm going to be mad at you.
Okay.
And
Well,
no,
why would you be mad?
listen.
Like, period? You mean like if they never compliment you? You
Yes.
would be mad? Okay, yeah.
I would
get
be
that.
hella mad. Like, I'm
I would be hella
amazing,
mad,
okay?
but-
I'd be like, first of all, I'm amazing, so why is this person not No, listen, it does not matter if it's a stranger not complimenting me. You're a stranger. I don't know you. Like, we don't have no bond. But if we have a bond, we're friends, we're siblings, or you're my partner, you're required to do that. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Because I'm going to constantly be showering you with this as one representation of my love for you. I'm going to be showering you with kind words, words of encouragement, gifts, and everything else that I choose to love on you, however ways I choose to love on you. So if you're not showing love back to me, we're going to have a problem. Because I'm not doing this, I'm just giving, and you taking, and I give. No, I'm not doing that no more. There's a limit. I still do it sometimes, I'm not going to lie, because I'm just kind like that.
Yeah, women should compliment men as well, too.
But
Listen, the other way around.
It needs to be an equal thing. I'm complimenting you and taking care of you. You complimenting me and taking care of me. We are a teamwork. This partnership, we're going to make this work. All right? Because, no.
So compliments are definitely important in a long-lasting relationship.
Yeah.
Like, especially.
It could be something little. Oh, you're so adorable.
If you mean it. If you mean it, it means a lot more. But a person can always tell, at least we can, and maybe other people in the world can always tell if a person is being genuine with it. Obviously, when you're online, it's going to be kind of like a little bit different because it's just typing and it's just words. It's not you actually in front of the person and they saying it to you, because you can, you know, pick up on facial cues. You can pick up on, okay, that's the way you said it. I don't know. It's basically like a vibe with it. But yeah, I mean, compliments are still important. It's not to say that you don't need to compliment at all. That's not exactly what we're saying. We're saying you don't always have to do that if you don't feel it in your heart to do it. So.
If you're gonna do it in the most natural way that's not her looks. Focus on something that she's done. Even a good one is commenting or complimenting her on her style, that you like her style. But even then, I'm telling you to do that, and you might go, okay, well, that's the compliment I'll use. No, then don't use that, right? Don't use that if you don't actually mean it. So let's not focus and give her all of these superficial comments and thoughts. Really, let's go deeper if you have to say something nice. Disagree? Agree? What do you think? Leave a comment down below.
So yeah, I think it was a pretty decent video.
Yeah, that was good.
We've
seen way worse.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, this is not a worst video.
This is the top tier, the high ones, and that stuff did make sense. I didn't agree with everything, but again, it made sense. He wasn't abrasive and rude when he delivered it, so that's good.
Yeah. I agreed with everything he said. I think the way his delivery was, the way he said it, it all made sense. It all connected. It wasn't a gap between this point and this point and this point. They all three came together in an effective way. And it just makes sense. So thank y'all so much for watching
Brown Skin Sisters.
Again, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe. And we will see y'all in our next video. Bye.
Bye.